Hello and welcome to my new video. I want to start this video a bit mystical. I don't want to reveal instantly what this is about, but first I want to start with a few simple examples, and hopefully you will agree with what I say in these examples, so you can more easily follow me on the rest of what I'm about to say and reveal in this video. So just imagine you have parasites like mosquitoes or ticks. I guess usually you would be of the opinion that, yeah, you remove them from your body, right? Because they don't give anything in return. They just make you, itch or whatever, and it's just being annoying, right? So you try to get rid of parasites. And I think everybody would agree to this. So why would you, without your will and without your agreement, give some of your energy away to someone that did nothing for it, right? I'm using the simple example because I want to kind of clarify the idea of what a parasite is, right? He just takes and he gives nothing in return, or just, which is even worse, maybe he gives something in return which is even makes you feel bad, right? A second example, or something for a smoother transition. Imagine you're in some kind of a tribe, maybe in the jungle or the desert. Can be 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago. So you have your little tribe, and now you're born as a free human being, and you start working. You start being productive, and you do something for this community. And then all of a sudden someone comes. It can be someone from the tribe, but it can also be someone from a different tribe. And he just says to you, you know what? Give me 50% of what you earn. Then I guess you would rather be like, why should I do that, bro? And then he will say, yeah, because otherwise I will beat the shit out of you, or I will burn your house down, or I will lock you up in a cave. Or, he just threatens you basically with violence. So you may submit to that, depending on the circumstances. But I think we agree in both of these examples that it's not fair. It's not right to do these things, right? You just can't go to someone and then threaten him or her with violence to give you, let's say, money, or make him work for you or whatever. If it's your free will to do that, that is a different story. But in the second example, as I said, you were born free, and then there's some random guy telling you to give him 50% of what you earn. I think most people would say this is kind of crazy. Now, maybe you already guessed it. I want to lead you to the current time. And this is I guess this is true in almost every country in the world right now. What's happening is that the state that you're living in, the country that you're living in, is this very parasite. Think about it. You were born as a free human being, and then somehow some group of people said that, well, now you have to give me they call it taxes, right? It's a better word. It sounds more like it has some touch of legality to it, right? Yeah, it's taxes. It's not theft or, And if you don't, then the judge will, get his henchmen and pull you out of your house or whatever and make you pay that money because they decided that you have to. But think about it from a very clear slate, from a blank slate. Did you ever agree to that? I don't know. I did not. I did not agree to that. But yet, I'm pretty sure that they will try everything to get your money, right? So if you earn something with your own lifetime and you earn money from this, which is the most likely thing that you will earn, they will come and want some of that. And for most people, I think it became so normal. Nobody questions that paying taxes may actually be theft. Like, it's not just about the amount of taxes. It's the very fact that you pay taxes or that you pay money to people who haven't done a single thing for it should be questioned. And of course, there is this one side where you can say, yeah, it's, taxes are used for something good. I would agree. If not currently, we all would see that how this tax money is being used, right? I mean, it's not like 100% of the tax money that we pay is being used for proper causes. First of all, it's not even 100% because the overhead of bureaucracy is so huge. In Germany, it's like the salary just for politicians is 100 million euros. That's what you pay. I mean, this is already a loss. Like, these people may not even do anything. They may not even move a finger, and yet they are being paid. So that's the first thing, is you will never distribute 100% of that money because of this. Do you say waterhead in English? Like this huge, bureaucracy around all these things. That is first. And the second thing is that even if you omit this very fact, you will still have people in powerful positions that obviously can be corrupted, and a lot of politicians are corrupt. And then so much of the money that the people earn, which is basically an energy form. I mean, for me, I see it like 1-to-1, like it's a relation of money equals energy. Because your lifetime is also this energy, right? It's just a kind of conversion. And then they have another trick to steal even more from you. But that's not the point of this video. It's called the money system. So, I mean, this money that you give as taxes is not even fairly distributed where it's needed. And I mean, I cannot, encourage you to do illegal things. So let's just have a thought experiment. Let's say there is this guy, his name is John, and he lives in a country like Germany or America or whatever, it doesn't matter. And what can he do, right? I mean, first of all, why is that system so strong for John? The system is so strong because the people pay tax money. If they were not to pay the tax money, how is that system going to survive? How are these parasitic people going to have any money if there is no one in that country that gives them the money? How are they going to pay, let's say, police that knock at your door and say, give me your money or else? So if I was to talk to John directly, I would say, stop paying taxes as best as you can. Jesus Christ, please. Imagine, on the other hand, John, you stop paying taxes and you give the money directly where you want it to. Directly to the places where it's actually needed, without having 10 people through whose hands this money passes. I mean, there's different views, of course, on the social aspect of this, right? I would fully agree saying that it's your money, you earned it, you worked for it, it's your lifetime. You can do with it whatever you want to. That's perfectly fine with me. And yeah, there's also people who want to be more social and want to support other people. And that's also fine. I'm also on that side, right? The point is that by the way the taxes and all the fees and the money system, the way all this is built, it means that you lose a lot. It means that you lose a lot of energy. You lose a lot of your time. And maybe you don't even notice that. I mean, of course you notice that you're not getting 100% of your money, but maybe because it's so normal for you, you don't really see the size of what you're losing. So the numbers I'm usually using are people, the state or the country takes between 80 to 90%, plus, also the money system. So in the end, you will keep a maximum of 20% of what you actually worked. And I would call that slavery. So imagine, instead of all that money being stolen from you, you would have, let's just say, nobody pays taxes in this imaginary scenario with John. Nobody pays taxes. But that also means you have 5 times the amount of money that you would normally have, right? And then imagine you would get to know, like, where is that money actually needed, and you can put it there. You can give it directly to schools. You can give it directly to your doctor and say, give me the best treatment, Whereas what we currently experience in most countries is that a lot of money is being given to the head or whatever, whoever is in control of the money, and then like in homeopathic doses. Some of that money is giving back. Because at least what I hear very often, the main argument here is like, yeah, but what about the streets and the schools and the hospitals and whatever? Yeah, how about we give them 100% of our tax money instead of just the little thing that comes back, which cannot be 100%. And yes, there could be some bureaucratic overhead, but the sheer amount that we currently have makes me say I cannot support this any longer. Like the amount of money that is wasted and put into some people's pocket, I cannot support this anymore. And you should really think about the alternatives. So, there's two scenarios, 2 options here. The one would be that the people take all their money and distribute it by their own free will, which would also mean that the people needed a slightly higher level of consciousness and a way higher level of self-responsibility than they have now. But it's a possibility. It's a possible scenario that I see. And the other thing would be, okay, we get out of this, let's say, pyramid scheme where there is this one, let's say, financial minister, and he basically controls all the money that is being taken as taxes. But instead, we crumble this all down to a very shallow hierarchy where you have communities of, let's say, 100 or 5,000 or 10,000 people. And these people decide what is being done with the money that they earned. Just as an example, if you live in a street with a lot of houses, just imagine all the tax money that they are right now paying. Just roughly, make a rough estimation and see the tax money. Everybody throws it on a pile on the street. And now imagine, they do this, let's say, every month. Okay, so all the tax money that is being used every month, I think makes it maybe a bit easier to visualize. And then just take that money and pay, doctors and schools and repair streets directly from that money, without anyone in between, without the possibility of anyone in between just taking some of that money and with corruption and so on, getting it to places where it's not supposed to go. I don't want to paint the vision here too clearly. I don't want to, say like, this is the perfect system, this is the perfect scenario, or this is not the main point of the video. The main point of the video is that we live in a system, basically every country in the world, where you are not being asked whether you want to pay that tax money or not, but where you are a working slave. It's just a matter of degree, right? So we're not talking about a fair system where people are being treated as free humans. You should really start from this very basic, let's say, from a blank slate, where you are born and You should be born freely. You should be born without anybody threatening you or any kind of system that is being legalized just by a group of people, however they got to that position. But I mean, that's how it is, right? There's any kind of group of people who got into power and they want to stay in power. That's what it's about for them. I know this may sound a bit scary for you. Like, well, if there's no tax money, then how are you going to pay X, Y, Z? There are books for this kind of question, and I would encourage you to kind of find your own, really create this own vision of how this scenario could work out. Because it's not going to be like that every house starts to burn and it's pillage and rape everywhere. I mean, just imagine there's no more politicians starting from tomorrow. Do you think the bakeries would stop baking bread? Or do you think you are not able to buy clothes anymore because there's no politicians? I don't think so. I think that all the commercial trade would continue normally and even better because there are no more randomly imposed fees and then taxes and how do you call that? Embargoes. Because of that, economy could even flourish a bit better. And there are no secret deals and all this kind of stuff. There's so many advantages of that. I mean, the problem is, yes, there are also people in politics with good intentions. Yes, definitely there are. But the problem is this single point of failure. You know, if you have 90% of people with good intentions and then there's 10% at the top, but they push all the buttons, they control everything, and they have bad intentions, what does it help if there's 90% below them who want to do something good? It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter who you vote. Nobody gives a shit about your opinion in this political system. At least not in Germany, and I'm pretty sure neither in America or in most other countries. I want to sum up the basic message of this video. There is this system, however exactly that is structured in your country, and they made it kind of look legal to steal your energy and time and work. And yeah, nobody really, does anything against that because it's legal after all, right? No, it's not legal. And they have, the system also includes, of course, the judges and the police, because if the judge says you have to, then okay, if he says so. And also with him, you can ask yourself, when did I give him authority exactly? Or when or how did he get authority over me or my life, my lifetime? So they created this system and they make it look legal. Although if you think about it from a clear mind, from a clean slate, you would come to the conclusion that it's not legal because it's against your will. You never agreed to do that. So my advice would be to take back your control and your energy and time as best as you can. And to be smart about it, because they will have their sensors and information everywhere. But there are definitely ways. I mean, you can look at big companies. They will find legal ways to not pay taxes. So there are possibilities. And then it also depends upon your courage, right? Whether you're willing to take a risk here, or whether you say, no, I don't want any trouble and I would rather stay a slave and pay like 80% of my money to the state. That is really up to you. But I want to live in a society where nobody is forced to give away his time and energy and work and money to a group of people that have no authority over any other people whatsoever. I want to live in a society with responsible people who are also giving the money to places where it's actually needed. And then we would all be so rich. I mean, the money is there, right? The money is there. It's just about how it's distributed. Everybody knows these numbers about like 90% of the money is owned by only 10% of people or whatever. Just think of Vatican City. They could, with their money like this, they could end the world hunger with their money alone. So it's not a question of whether it's possible. The money and the energy is there, and the technology, and everything is there, everything is in place. It's about this parasite that took way too much control and which gained way too much power over too many people. And I would say, no, I do say we need to do something against that. We cannot continue to feed that kind of system. There has to be a point at which we have to stop feeding it energy. Stop feeding it your lifetime. Take it back. Take control back. Take your energy back. And then I hope we will see a better world in a few decades. This is not something that's going to happen over 2 or 3 years, but I'm positive that with the development of mankind, we will see such systems in place. Fairer systems, more empathetic systems, more social systems. And I'm really looking forward to that. And you can be part of that history in the making. I really wish you got some new impulses here, although they may be a bit fiery. And yeah, please subscribe to my videos if you enjoyed this one. And I thank you very much for watching this video. See you on the next one.